All right, I hope that this isn't too late. I'm sure it will be, but anyway. The question about caffeine is worked through completely right here in this text. So it follows exactly how I have you do it, the same process. It doesn't draw out the entire picket fence like I do. But, I mean, no big deal. So they convert each one to its mass by taking the ratio of 12 over 44. Let's get rid of that, and I'll show you why they just have it boiled down to that. And it's the same for each one of these, so it should hopefully not be too hard. So they have 1.813, and I know you can't read that, but that's milligrams of CO2. Then they have the milligrams CO2 per 1 mole, 1 mole, 1 mole, 1 mole, 44 grams. Oops. 44. This is 12. These are grams. All right. These are all ones. So all you really need to do is multiply it by the mass of carbon and divide by the mass of CO2. And that's how they got that 0.4948. All right, they do the same thing here. They're just shortening up the picket fences. Now, nitrogen, let's explain how they got nitrogen. The product is N2. The only way you could get N2 is if it came from this caffeine, which is CHON. Now, there's nothing tied to this N2, so the mass of this N2 has to be equal to the mass of that N. Hopefully that was pretty self-explanatory. Read this comment here. Well, let me clear this up quite a bit. If you read the comment number 1 right here, it says, notice that the mass of nitrogen is given as the mass of N2, but 14.007, which is the atomic weight of just N, is used. All right, so why? We only want the moles of N involved. We don't need the moles of N2. So to find the total moles of N divided by 14 is fine. It skips the step of where you would have written 2 moles of N2. Sorry, 1 mole of N2 to every 2 moles of N. It takes care of this step for you so that you didn't have to stress about it. All right. Step 3, so this is fine. And let's see here. All right, let's explain comment number 2 also. Comment number 2, since these were given in milligrams, usually we use grams per mole. Since it's milligrams, in order to not just have to change everything, which we could do, but in order, we just said millimole. And then that both is to the 1,000th, and the math is going to work out just fine. So that's what comment number 2 is. Okay, so let's see. All right, so we determined the molar mass. That wasn't too bad. We convert each one by dividing by its molar mass. Then 3, we divide each one of those answers by the smallest number. That's what they're doing here. All right. Once we've found that, we find C4H5NO2. Now, this answer is from the internet. I guess on my test, I think I left it between 300 and 400. So when you find the total molar mass, it says it's about 97. So let's multiply that by 4. So our thing for caffeine would be incorrect, but it would be C16H20N408. That would be the final answer here. All right, I hope that was helpful but not too late.